Good afternoon. I'd like to call the meeting of the North Little Rock Planning Commission to order today. If you would, please call the roll.
Banks.
Here.
Blasco. Here. Chambers. Foster.
Here.
Phillips. Here. Pierce. Here. Wallace.
Here.
White. Clifton.
Here.
You do have a quorum.
Thank you. We'll move right into our administrative items on our agenda. If you are here today for item number 1, the Giles edition, or item number 8, the Shorter College edition, or item number 14, the auto sales on East 2nd Street, those items have been postponed. If you are here for item number 6, for the Wilson's edition, item number 11 for the Maley Shale Hill edition, and item number 12, conditional use for a large-scale recreation facility, they have been postponed. So neither of those items will be heard today. So if you are here for any of those items, you may be excused, or you can stay with us. Thank you. Move right into our Planning Commission items. Item number 2 is our site plan review. Mr. Chambers.
Approve the minutes.
Oh, what? Excuse me. You have been submitted a copy of the minutes of our previous meetings. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes as presented?
Move for approval.
Second. Motion made and seconded. All be approved as submitted. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Mr. Chambers.
Bear with me, Mr. Chairman. The agenda kind of got hacked on, and I may have lost my place, but Mr. Phillips here promises to keep me on track. Design Review Committee heard item SD 2022-60, Richards Road Addition, Lot 3, site plan review of a hotel at 3300 ABF Boulevard. Applicant was present, agreed to items 1 through 14 in subsections, and the Development Review Committee recommends approval.
Motion made and seconded. This item be approved as submitted. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners on the application? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Item 3 is SD 2022-62, Marion Woods Estates, Lot 1 through 6, preliminary plat at the southwest corner of Lonesome Dove and Windsong Drive. The applicant was present, agreed to items 1 through 14 in subsections, and the Development Review Committee recommends approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. This application be approved as submitted. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Item 4 is SD 22-63, Elders Edition, Lot 1, site plan review of an addition to an existing building at 9300 Mall Mill Boulevard. The applicant was present, agreed to items 1 through 15 in subsections, and the Development Review Committee recommends approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. This application be approved as submitted. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Item 5 is SD 2022-64, White Oak Addition, Lot 1, a revised site plan review process, additional self-storage space at 9500 White Oak Crossing. The applicant was present, agreed to items 1 through 11 in subsections. The Development Review Committee recommends approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. This application be approved as submitted. Any comments from anyone in the audience? Any comments from any commissioners? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Item 6 is postponed. Item 7 is SD 2022-66, Lesser Goldman subdivision, lots 1R through 2R, a replat at 4210 East Broadway. Applicant was present, agreed to items 1 through 16 in subsections, and the Development Review Committee recommends approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. This application be approved as submitted. Any comments from anyone in the audience? Comments from any commissioners? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Item 8 is withdrawn. Item 9 is SD 2022-68, Shorter College Edition, Lot 1R, site plan review for a temporary classroom at 715 North Pine Street. The applicant was present, agreed to items 1 through 11 in subsections, and the Development Review Committee recommends approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, this application be approved as submitted. Any comments from anyone in the audience? Any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Number 10 on our agenda is our public hearing to allow a hillside cut at 6820 Crystal Hill Road. Is the applicant present?
Yes, sir. Chairman Clifton, Thomas Pownell with Thomas Engineering. Here is the applicant for the hillside cut at Malley Addition.
Okay, is there any comments from engineering department or staff on this? Is there any comments from anyone? City engineers here. Any comments from anyone in the audience? Have any questions on this application? Come on up, Mr. Cook. Yes, sir. Please come up and give us your name, please.
Good afternoon. I'm Rich Browning with the Summit Church across the street from this proposed thing. And I have a question for the commission is how does this project relate to the much-needed widening of the rest of Crystal Hill Road to a 5-lane, like what the first half is from Interstate 430 kind of to the east a little bit? Can this be done in conjunction with this project, or what's the status of that?
Mr. Spencer, Mr. Cook?
I can start, right now, we're talking about the hillside cut. Your part of the question is postponed till the next meeting, but I think Dave could cover it real quick for you. Yeah, if you want to answer him real quick on that.
One of the requirements whenever we did our initial review of the site plan review was to require a traffic study from, or that's what RDOT did. Whenever we requested them to review this site plan, they requested a traffic study, and that is currently being done. That's one of the reasons it's been postponed. So RDOT will not approve. I wanted them to see if there were needed any lane extensions or turn lanes, dedicated turn lanes or widening, anything through there because of the potential use of it. And they will review the traffic study once it's given to them and make their determination for that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, just want to be on the record that we're for what they've proposed. We think it's going to be a great addition to the community over there, and we think widening that road is going to be a really great addition for that.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Chambers?
Yes, Mr. Cook clarify something for me. This is not on the hillside cut, but extension of the previous comments. Crystal Hill Road is a state highway?
Yes, sir. It is, yes.
Okay, so that's why I was going to point out that one reason we can't require half-street improvements is because this particular applicant does not own the entire frontage. It's interrupted by other lots, and it'd be best if the highway department came in and did a total widening of the project as opposed to just us doing it piecemeal.
I don't know, that is correct, and I don't know if that's on their radar right now, but like I said, we've submitted this whole package to District 6 to have them look at it, do their review, and they're the ones that came back to me and requested a traffic study before they could make any determinations.
So there's no determination what the timing is for
Correct,
widening it to
correct.
5 lanes and extending what they've done already.
Correct.
What a joy if they would do that. Just to continue with the hillside cut, I have a question. I haven't had a chance to read this in detail. Do the existing layers of shale and sandstone tip in the appropriate direction for a stable slope?
Do you have it on you?
Is there a gradient such that they're going back into the hill?
So I think if I'm looking through this correctly, okay. So it is a northward dip, and it does favor for cut slope stability. That was the initial response, or in this preliminary
I'm sure the
geotech
applicant
report.
doesn't want to wake up and have Interstate 430 in his.
No, nobody does. And all this is based on the determination of the final geotech report too. So we'll review that in depth, just like any other hillside cut
Okay. Thank you.
request.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments from anyone in the audience? Any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application as presented, please call the roll.
Mr. Chairman, this is a public hearing. Do we vote on public
I'm
hearings,
sorry.
or do we just hear it?
We do vote on public hearing, yeah.
Okay.
So with no further comments, we'll vote to
Support the hillside cut.
support the hillside cut. Correct. No is not to support. So on the hillside cut application, please call the roll.
Banks,
Yes.
Plasko,
Yes.
Chambers,
Yes.
Foster,
Yes.
Phillips. Yes. Pierce,
Yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
and Chairman Clifton.
Yes, your application did pass. Get with Mr. Spencer and he can tell you where to go next. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Okay, next item on our agenda is item number 13, to allow a parking lot at 800 Main Street in the C6 zone. Is the applicant here? Yes. Give us your name for the record, please.
Brian Hosto, I'm with Haybar Properties.
Okay, is there any comments you'd like to make at this time?
This is simply to take part of the existing parking lot. We're recent purchasers of the building and the parking lots, and our application is just to take the front parking lot and convert it into a paid application.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments made of the commissioners? Mr. Chambers?
Yes, sir. Have you been to the Historic District Commission for approval?
We have applied for it. They're having a hearing Thursday evening.
Okay. And this is because you have a pay kiosk that you want to install?
No, there's not any sort of kiosk. It's all done via text and smartphones.
But there's signage or something that they need?
There's signage, yes.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
There has been some recommendations made by the Design Review Committee. Have you looked those over?
Yes, and we have done those. The trash receptacles have been installed. There's no payment receptacle device. All of the other, like I say, it's already a parking lot, so all the other things were already met.
Okay.
And we also agreed to a statement that if we did any further reapplication of anything related to the building, that we would take into consideration the parking needed for the building.
Very good. Mr. Chambers?
Will there be any gates?
Any gates? No, sir.
There will not.
Any other comments? Any comments made of the commissioners? On the application, please call the roll.
White,
Yes.
Wallace. Yes. Pierce,
Yes.
Phillips. Yes. Foster.
Yes.
Chambers,
Yes.
Plasko,
Yes.
Banks,
Yes.
and Chairman Clifton.
Yes. Next item is rezone case number 25. Rezone from R4 to C4 in a conditional use to allow for a warehouse rental storage at 3021 Lincoln. Is the applicant here? Please come up. Give us your name for the record.
How you doing? My name is Osman Valley.
Okay, would you like to make any comments on this?
No.
Okay, this has been before us, and we've looked at it 2 or 3 different ways. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Yes, please come up and give us your name, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Scotty Stewart. I'm at 3107 Lincoln Avenue. It's not the idea of us on that end I'm in the 3100 block. We got enough traffic already through that way. Our belief is the neighborhood should just be a neighborhood. Because once before, we kind of been down this road a while back when it was a shop over across from the building, what they trying to get now, what he already got, and it was confusion. And then on the next thing, whatever, you know, what the building gonna be used for, what they gonna be stored in there, if we can get an answer to that. And then my next thing is, I chose to move down there. And to some of y'all that don't know who I am, I'm a retired educator. I'm a retired school teacher. I'm not just somebody just living down there. Yeah, I know I can pack up and move somewhere else and put my daughter in there. But a neighborhood, in my opinion, should just be a neighborhood. We shouldn't have to have whatever that building is gonna be used for. And then with the meeting going on, bulk of the other people that I talked to today, they wanna be here, but some of those people don't get off at like 5 o'clock, 6 or 7 o'clock. So I guess when I come, I guess I have to kind of, put myself out there for everybody else that can't be here. That's what our concern is about, what is really gonna be stored in the building, what is really gonna bring, you kind of open it up for a lot of, I call it a lot of issues. It's gonna be some headache eventually, in which I already know this here. I can see it coming. Now, it might not be because of him. It's probably some of the people that, that might want to just come through that way or whatever and check whatever. All that's going to lead up to a problem.
Okay,
So that's the concern that we have. It's not just me complaining. And my last question is, my wife would love to be here, but she works for the school district, and she don't get home till like 6 o'clock. And I overheard, I was just talking to this young lady on the end when I first came in here, because I came from Little Rock, that you and that man there, that's me, is trying to, keep us from getting this, or keep us from coming in. It shouldn't even be about any of that there. I've been there ever since '89. It's finna be 2023. Bottom line, like I said, I can pick up, I can move, and go put a $400,000-$500,000 house up somewhere if I want to. I have that option. But why would I leave from my neighborhood because of that building down there that's empty?
okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Stewart. Is there anyone else? Yes, sir, please come and give us your name.
It's 3107 or something. It was
Mr.
right
Chairman,
there.
my name's Monty Pride. I'm a property owner right across the street from this proposed annex, rezoning. And I have no objections to it being rezoned. It just, to me, that would just, it's progress. So I just want to go on record as saying I have no objections to it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pride.
I have one question. Mr. Pride?
Mr. Pride.
Did you say you had land or a home?
On land, 2.5 acres,
Okay, thank you.
3100 block, Lincoln.
Okay. Ms. Chambers?
This question for staff. I fully support Mr. Bale's use of the property and everything, but I don't agree with C4, which has an entire list of stuff that you can do over and beyond just storage. So I could see how it may start off as storage, but could migrate to something else. And I did not know if there's a way to allow storage. What zone could you ask for to allow storage here that wouldn't necessarily include all the additional things? Because I know that once you rezone a piece of land, that is what it is, and it gets all the rights and privileges of that zone.
If you're wanting to talk just straight rezoning, C4 is going to be the lowest level to allow storage.
Okay?
The conditional use.
Yeah, with the conditional use. Now, we could change it to a special use right now, and then when he goes away and moves, to another property or something, the special use would go with him.
So he could have a special use on the property today to use it as storage.
Correct. Or fill in the blank, whatever
Whatever.
whatever we want to call it, storage, warehousing.
And the only downside is the special use is for him. It doesn't go with the land.
Correct.
Okay. I would support a special use. It's just that C4 is such a dramatic and heavy thing that, and it allows so many other things.
Leave it R4.
Yes, sir, Mr.
So
Taylor.
if I'm understanding correctly, you go special use, you would not have to change from an R4.
Correct. The zoning would stay the same, and the special use would be in his name. So at the point in time he sells the property or whatever he's wanting to do with the property, the special use would leave with him. So if he were to sell it to you, you wouldn't be able to open up the same business or the same use there because it goes with the applicant, which would be in his name at that time.
Sure.
Spencer, under the C3, which he's wanting to go to,
C4.
yes, no, C3. Well, okay. What uses are allowed?
Most of the stuff you see on Broadway is C4, but
Okay.
auto-related would be a good, simple answer to C4.
I'd like to make a comment on this. That neighborhood there, for more years than I can remember, had an auto body shop, 2 doors down from it. It operated there for years and years. And that finally went away a few years ago. This building we're talking about here used to be Daniel's Printing and Label Company, and it was there for more years than I can remember. So that area has always been a C4 area, and I don't know of anything that's ever been detrimental to it from either one of those businesses. Of course, we know when it changes, well, that's whenever the changes come into play, and this man has bought this property trying to use it in a use that has been allowed for years in the past. So I just wanted to give a little bit of history on that, so I cannot see us not allowing him the use for it that's already been used for that in the past. Mr. Chambers?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, when I mentioned the special use, staff mentioned it and everything, I just noticed that some of the commissioners nodded that, yeah, that sounded like a reasonable alternative. So it appears there's 2 paths before us, but we cannot move either way unless the applicant asks to go to a special use. If you would ask him if he wishes to go to a special use, then he can decide which way he wants to go, and then we can move forward and vote from there.
Well, it would appear to me that before we ask him a pertinent question like that, this commission would be, should be able to determine if they were going to support a special use before that. Would that not be the right order of business?
I don't think you want to vote on it before you vote on it. I think we need to make an amendment to change it to a special use if that's what the applicant chooses to do. If the applicant chooses to go forward on a vote as a rezone right now, we would do that, but I don't think that we would need to check for support before we do anything. I think the first move would be to amend the application to a special use request if he chooses to do so, but you absolutely can ask him if that is what he is asking this commission to do at this point in time. And if so, then the first motion would be to amend the current application.
Okay. Mr. Osmond, you have heard the discussion going on. What is your preference?
Sir,
Come to the microphone, please.
Yeah, I heard that, but I don't know why this guy, this is the second time you guys, I know you tried to help me to put my business. I don't know what his problem. He say because this and that and that. If he have money, he can move somewhere else. But I have the right to make our own business, the right, to live right properly. He complain about everything. He's the only one in the neighborhood. He's the only one.
Okay,
So-
that's, yes, sir, we understand that, but you need to decide if you want to amend your request to consider a special use.
What special
Or-
use means?
A special use for a C4 use, and if that does pass, you would get to use your property for your warehouse business. It would mean that next month, if your warehouse business did not go, you could not convert that into another C4 use.
Stay C, or stay R.
Pardon me?
It'll stay the R4.
R with the special use.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, ask staff to explain that to him. They know all the legal stuff.
Mr. Chairman, could Donna go out and talk to him in the hallway and we go to the next item? And then
Fine.
when they're done, come back and vote at the end?
Please do.
And then that would help explain it and everything.
She will go with you outside to explain what we're talking about, and you can make your decision.
Okay.
Okay, let's move to the item number 16, rezone 2022-26, a rezoning from C3 to R4 to allow the rehabilitation of an existing apartment building located at 904 West 25th. Is the applicant here?
We,
Please come up.
yeah, we notified.
Oh,
So
the applicant
we can postpone it
this?
or you can vote without him here.
The applicant's not present. I move to postpone. If the applicant is not present for this, for rezoning case 2022-26, I move to postpone. Second.
Motion made and seconded to postpone this application. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Will be postponed until next month. Next item is rezone case 2022-27, rezoning from C3 to I2 to recognize an existing office warehouse building at 4300 Stockton Drive. Is the applicant here?
Yes, sir. Brian Dale with Joe White and Associates.
Yes, sir. Do you have any comments you'd like to make on this?
No, sir. The applicant bought the property. They have a user in there that is operating, and it's not the correct zoning for the use. So we're trying to correct the zoning to comply with the user that's in there.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Chambers?
Was this formerly a commercial business and because of the sale, it now has a warehouse business in it?
That's correct.
It was an auto parts, as I recall?
I think
Yeah.
you are correct.
It operated in retail, that's why okay, got it, yeah.
Is the,
Oh, it's next door, okay.
okay.
We're good.
Ms. Chambers,
I'm good, I'm fine.
any other comments from anyone in the audience? Any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application, please call the roll.
I'm sorry.
Number 17,
Banks?
Yes.
Okay. Plasko?
Yes.
Chambers?
Yes.
Foster?
Yes.
Phillips? Yes. Pierce?
Yes.
Wallace? Yes. White?
Yes.
And Chairman Clifton.
yes. Your application did pass, so Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what to go next.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Go back to Mr. Vale.
Mr. Osama, we'll go back to item number 15. Please come up again. Yes, sir, you.
Okay, I agree.
Have you decided what you'd like to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Special use would be okay.
Pardon
Special
me?
use.
Special use, yes.
Okay,
This-
you'd like to amend your application to a
Yeah,
special use? Okay. So noted. Is there any other comments from anyone in the audience? Any other comments from any of the commissioners? Mr. Chambers?
Just to clarify, staff, that because we advertised for a C4 and going down to a special use, all notification requirements have been met.
Correct, yes. So this is it would be a downgrading from a C4 to a special use.
Yes.
So the conditions still would apply, and if you needed to add or more conditions, this would be the time to do it right now.
And just to specify that one of the conditions of the special use is that, I want to be general enough, but contractors' storage is a permitted the building can be used for storage and contractor storage is specifically permitted.
Yes.
Okay, I want to be sure that he's getting everything he's asking for.
So it's right, it's not, it'd be storage of, right now it's generic.
Got it. Thank you.
So if he's not,
Banks?
but he's not running his business, it'd be the storage of his stuff.
Okay.
Mr. Banks?
So, changing to a conditional use.
Special.
Special.
This is special use.
Special use, it goes with the owner.
Okay. Any other
Regard.
comments? On the application, please call the roll as amended.
White,
Yes.
Wallace. Yes. Pierce.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
Chambers.
Yes.
Blasco.
Yes.
Banks.
Yes.
And Chairman Clifton.
Yes, your application did pass. See Mr. Spencer, and he can take.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 18, 2022-23, a rezoning from conservation to I-2 to allow for the future development of a lot with a contractor's office in 1300 block of North Hills Boulevard. Is the applicant here?
Yes, sir.
What's your name for the record?
My name is Stuart Mackey. I'm with the Hathaway Group.
Okay, you have any comments you'd like to make?
No, sir, we're just trying to move this zoning from conservation to I-2 to match all of the surrounding zoning that is I-2 on all the contiguous sides.
Okay. Has there been any contact for or against this with the office?
No, sir.
Okay, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? Ms. Chambers?
Just, Mike, just because the land planner side of me, has any effort been made to trade with the property to the south so that you have a more developable, regular shape?
No, the property to the south is owned by a different entity and is being used currently for a contractor's yard. And so that's not been under the same ownership for.
Oh, I know it's not the same ownership. I didn't know if you talked to them about the option of trading a little bit of land so that you both had so that this property had a more regular edge to it and more useful.
And that would make sense, Commissioner Chambers, but the problem is that property to the south is already rectangular in size.
Yeah.
So if we trade, then they suddenly get a narrow kind of triangular corner, and so they would not benefit from that trade. But the direct answer to your question is no, we have not.
I would think that they would get slightly more frontage and you'd get slightly less. And anyway, that's neither here nor there.
It's not a bad idea. I'll visit with them. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application, please call the roll.
Banks.
Yes.
Blasco.
Yes.
Chambers.
Yes.
Foster. Phillips. Yes. Pierce.
Yes.
Wallace. Yes. White. Yes. And Chairman Clifton.
The application did pass. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what's next.
Very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Public comment? Anyone? Mr.
Charlie today. I just want to let everybody know, I guess, Sean, you
Yeah,
were
this is
planning
Charlie.
city council last night, but our application, the application for the liquor store on JFK was turned down by
Almost
city council
unanimously.
last night.
Yes, it was denied. Denied.
Right. Go to your room, White. Thank you.
Okay, any other
I have
comment?
a request.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any way when we get our packet that we could get a map with the items that we're going to be discussing marked on there? Is that
Just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
takes
7.
me a long time to, and I know I'm new, but it takes me forever to map it all out.
Come Monday, we'll be at full staff, which we haven't been for about a year, so yes, we'll be able to
I didn't
get
know.
you the map.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments?
Too. Me too.
Motion made and seconded, we adjourn. All in favor, aye?
Wallace, you must know that